Hi, my name is Kiki Cronin, and today I'm going to be talking about Nancy Drew, Sea of Darkness. This game starts off by sending Nancy to Iceland. The reason? She was hired by a local treasure hunter named Dagny to find her missing partner, Magnus, who might or might not have gone off with their treasure. We play as Nancy to find out more about the towns, relationships, and discover what might have happened to this missing person. As we go through this town, we learn about the history, the proud people who are native to this town, and who might have wanted this treasure. We get to snoop through people's phones and their apartments, solving puzzles to find the lost treasure, helping this town with favors in order to gain trust and information about the other characters. And eventually, solve the mystery of why Magnus is missing. But first, let's start with a little bit of backstory. Nancy Drew is Her Interactive's game series that started in 1998, which was a computer game designed for girls who were not scared of a mouse. These games are computer animated that also incorporate narrative, interactive game elements with a point-and-click first-person play. These games are very much string and pearl. No matter what you do, the ending will almost always have the same conclusion. There are some choices that the player can make which can affect the ending of the game, but it will always end with the same culprit and Nancy solving the mystery. The reason I chose this game, besides the fact that it is near and dear to me, was because I felt like it was a good example of what video games can be. It is simple to play, has interesting characters, and an easy story to follow. Nancy Drew offers an experience to explore new places, a good mystery and story for the players to be involved in, interacting with the world created through exploring puzzles, clues, and talking to characters. Plus, you get to play as the iconic sassy teen detective, Nancy Drew. Although there are 33 titles in this game series, the only one I want to focus on as an example is Nancy Drew, Sea of Darkness, the 32nd game in the series. This game plays off of what James G. thinks of as projective goals. There are the player's goals, needing to solve the mystery, and then there are the game's goals, the little Easter eggs to get to that mystery-solving platform, and then the player and the game's goals working together, talking to the people, like I said, finding those Easter eggs or clues or, the game's goals in order to solve the mystery and win the game. Like I stated before, this game offers a mystery for your character, Nancy Drew, to solve. It is a point and click to each location and clue, and these games fall under the genre of mystery, puzzle, and action game. This game is supposed to take place in the real world, and in this case, Iceland. Players are expected to interact with the space around them, finding clues, solving puzzles, completing tasks for characters in the game, along with having conversations in order to gain information about your missing person and why he might or might not have disappeared. Along with that, learning about the town's rich history and why this missing treasure is important to this town, and why it plays a part in your mystery. It is these elements that show interactivity. Players are meant to interact with the world and get invested into the story at hand, something Chris Crawford states can happen in every conversation between the player and the voice actors. Like I stated before, this game is very much string and pearl. You do not get to make many decisions on how the game ends, since this game pushes you along to reach these goals it has intended for the player, which overall is to solve this mystery and bring back peace to this town.
Which apparently doesn't take a lot of work in Iceland.
I would say this game is mostly filled with active narrative elements. For example, having conversations, the puzzles, traveling to the new locations, timed scenes that determine if Nancy might be killed or you've kicked off the case. All these things add up to the agency to get things done in order to reach goals. Talking to people in the town so you know where to find things, completing tasks in order to get through more of the game, puzzles when you need to open trapdoors or get an item or find a clue, getting a time puzzle when you get knocked out and might drown, or snooping through someone's things without them catching you, trying not to freeze to death. All these ideas and gameplays lead up to being invested and sometimes needing to make quick choices in order to reach your goal. If you don't reach your goal, you could get kicked off the case or even die and be presented with a second chance screen, having to start over and over again to get it right until you can move forward in the game. All of these add up to the interactivity of an agency of needing to solve this mystery so you can keep moving forward. In my experience of playing the game, it's exciting. I'm also not very good at video games, so the point and click method I talked about is perfect. It's easy to understand, and the graphics are just simply wonderful. Playing as Nancy, you get to explore and search through your space. Getting to snoop through other people's things without getting caught adds a thrill to what you're doing. This game doesn't offer much in difficult navigation. There's always something to guide you through how to complete a puzzle or how to navigate the game if the player is confused. Through text on your phones, conversations you get to have, hints found within Nancy's notes, all these help guide the player if you don't know what to do next or if you don't know what you might need to do. The only thing I really felt like I had no control over was the conversations and what I was saying to the characters, or even what I didn't want to say with the characters. Like discussed in interactive storytelling, the maker has more choice over the story than the player does, which isn't bad, it just offers a different kind of idea to the story. The separation of power is barely there, as the player doesn't get much power to change how the story flows. Overall, I really did enjoy the game. It makes you think without being overwhelmed. It gets you involved in the characters/world so you can get ahead. I loved the puzzles, funny conversations, Nancy's sassy notes, some of the throwbacks to the previous games, getting to make money and spend that money at the gift shop, along with finding Easter eggs/phone charms as a personal touch in this game. There were also many twists and turns during the game I was not expecting when I first played it. Characters I didn't like before made me care about them even a little bit more after I learned why they were acting a certain way. I think this game is fun, has good storytelling, a mystery to make you invested, and stuff that just keeps you guessing, and I think that's what games are really about, is being invested into the story and being so excited when you solve that story. Thank you all for joining me on sharing my passion of Nancy Drew and allowing me to talk about it in such a way that puts it in a great light and something that was a big part of my life. I hope you all enjoyed and have a great day.